Today's the first episode of Quad Cooking. I, of course, am your host, Log, and today we are going to be making something rather simple. We are going to be making some semi-sweet pickles. Within regards to that, we'll just get right on to it. To start off, here are the ingredients that we're going to be using. We're going to be using 2 cups of sugar, a giant spoonful of garlic. Within regards to making them semi-sweet, that's what makes them semi-sweet is the garlic. If you want to leave that out, you can. Then we're going to have 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. Then we're going to put in 1 tablespoon of the celery seed and 2 teaspoons of salt. Along with the ingredients that we just talked about, here are the vegetables that we'll be using. We will be using sweet onions, cucumbers, and sweet peppers. All right, so to start, what we're going to do is we're going to take the apple cider vinegar. We're going to utilize 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. Put that into a measuring cup. All right. Then what we're going to need is 2 cups of granulated sugar. Bear with me while I measure that out. So there's 1 cup. There's 2 cups. Then what we'll need is salt. As far as the salt, we're going to be utilizing 2 teaspoons of salt. There's 1. There's 2. Then next is going to be the celery seed. As far as the celery seed, we are also going to be needing 1 tablespoon of celery seed. So for that, don't worry, my measuring spoon is only a half, so we got to put in 2. Then finally, we are going to be putting in minced garlic. And I should have opened the container. Can't get it open. My hand dexterity is not the greatest. I have another jar of it. So as for the minced garlic, as I mentioned, we're going to be putting in a rather large spoonful of minced garlic. Just because of what is left in this container, I'm actually going to be adding the rest of this container of garlic because it just wasn't a big enough spoonful. Now what is needed within regards to those ingredients that we just put into the measuring cup is we need to stir them very well. Reason being is that sugar will not dissolve by itself. So you have to stir that quite vigorously to get all that sugar to semi-dissolve, because it still won't dissolve completely. All right, now that we have the mixture completed, now we are ready to cut the vegetables. So we'll get on with that. So because of the limited hand dexterity that I have, I use a mandolin in order to cut these vegetables. So first what we're going to do is we're going to cut these cucumbers so that we can use them in the pickles. As far as the cut, I just cut them flat, cut them rather thin, and I'll show you how I do that. As for the peppers, what I do is I cut the tops off and then position them so that I can stack them inside this holder. Again, hand dexterity is not the greatest and I don't want to cut my hand in the mandolin, but position them so that I can pick up multiple ones with that and then do the same thing. And now with regards to these, just because of the way that the mandolin is I cut the peppers long way. And pick up the last one. And now lastly is the sweet onion. So for the sweet onion, I've actually already got them cut in half. Gonna still use the mandolin as well. And we're just going to thinly slice them just like the rest of the vegetables. So there you have the onions. So I won't of course bore you with the rest of that, and I'll be back momentarily. All right, now that we have all the vegetables cut, it is time to jar these pickles up. As I mentioned before, the solution that we created earlier, it doesn't mix very well, so make sure that you continue to mix it before you put it into the jars. As you can see, the solution here, the sugar again is starting to separate from the vinegar and everything else. So as I mentioned, you just make sure that you stir it really well before you add it to the jars that you're going to be putting it into. All right, so I have the 4 jars that I'm going to be using. The solution that you make will respectively make 4 jars. As far as the vegetables that I cut, I'd probably cut too many. But if so, then I'll just happen to make a cucumber salad afterwards. So what we're going to want to do now is take this solution and pour it into the jars, ideally about the same level in every jar. Alright, after you've gotten that divided up between the 4, now we're going to add the vegetables. As far as adding the vegetables, what I usually do is I usually do a couple different layers, put some cucumbers in, put some onions in, and then put some peppers in. And it's not a clean process, just cram them into the jar as much as possible, because the solution does go quite a long way. So we're gonna add some more cucumbers into this one. Then to finish it off, what you do is, within regards to the extra room that's in there, as far as, you know, the liquid doesn't quite fill it up with the substance, we're gonna top this off with water. And then you seal it and put it in the refrigerator. You're gonna wanna shake it violently about every 2 hours, and respectively, I would say that you wanna leave them in the refrigerator for about 2 days. But myself, I'm usually eating them after about 1 day. So with that being said, this is how you make semi-sweet pickles. It's not very difficult. Even a quadriplegic can do it. So good night, and hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, and see you in the next one. And there you have it, 4 jars of sweet pickles, or I should say semi-sweet pickles because of the garlic. So again, just as a recap, you're going to be using cucumbers, sweet onions, and sweet peppers, 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 cups of sugar, 1 tablespoon of celery seed, 1 teaspoon of salt, and garlic. And then once again, once you have it all canned and completed, make sure that you shake it violently to make sure that that sugar continues to mix up. Place it in the refrigerator for approximately 2 days. And within regards to the time frame of being in the refrigerator, make sure that you stir it, or I should say shake it, about every 2 hours. I hope you enjoy them. I know I do, and I already know that I'm gonna have to give a jar to my parents. So enjoy, take care guys. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video. Many more to come, so if you did like the video, by all means like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care guys.